Ezra Chapter 6. Then Darius the sovereign made a decree, and a search was made in the house of the books, wherein also the treasures of Babel were kept, and at Amitha, in the palace, which is in the province of Media, a scroll was found, and this was written in it. In the first year of Sovereign Koresh made a decree concerning the house of Elah at Jerusalem. Let the house be built in the place where they brought offerings, and its foundation strongly laid, its height 60 cubits, its width 60 cubits, 3 rows of heavy stones, and 1 row of new timber. Let the expenses be paid from the sovereign's house, and let the gold and silver utensils of the house of Elah, which Nebuchadnezzar took from the Hekal, which is in Jerusalem, and brought to Babel, are returned, and go to the Hekal, which is in Jerusalem, to its place, and deposit them in the house of Elah. Now Tattenai, governor beyond the river, and Shethar-Bozenai, and your companions, the officials beyond the river, stay away from there. Leave the work of this house of Elah alone. Let the governor of the Yehudim and the elders of the Yehudim build this house of Elah on its place. And I make a decree as to what you should do for the elders of these Yehudim, for the building of this house of Elah. Let the exact expense be paid to these men from the sovereign's resources, out of the taxes beyond the river, so that they are not stopped. And whatever they need, both young bulls and rams, and lambs for the ascending offerings of the Elah of heaven, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the request of the priests who are in Jerusalem, let it be given them day by day without fail, so that they bring pleasing offerings to the Elah of heaven, and pray for the life of the sovereign and his sons. And I make a decree that whoever changes this word, let a timber be pulled from his house, and let him be impaled, hanged on it. And let his house be made a dunghill because of this. And Elah, who has caused his name to dwell there, does overthrow any sovereign or people who put their hand to change, to destroy this house of Elah, which is in Jerusalem. I, Darius, make the decree. Let it be done promptly. Then Tattenai, governor beyond the river, Shethar-Bozenai, and their companions promptly did according to what Darius the sovereign had sent. And the elders of the Yehudim were building, and they were blessed through the prophesying of Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, son of Iddo. And they built and finished it, according to the decree of the Elah of Israel, and according to the decree of Koresh, and Darius, and Atarhatsha, sovereign of Persia. And this house was completed on the 3rd day of the month of Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of sovereign Darius. Then the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the sons of the exile did the dedication of this house of Elah with joy, and offered at the dedication of this house of Elah 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and as a sin offering for all Israel, 12 male goats, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. And they appointed the priests to their divisions, and the Levites to their divisions, over the service of Elah in Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moshe. And the sons of the exile performed the Pesach on the 14th day of the first new moon, for the priests and the Levites had cleansed themselves. All of them were clean, and they slew the Pesach for all the sons of the exile, and for their brothers, the priests, and for themselves. And the children of Israel who had returned from the exile ate together with all who had separated themselves from the uncleanness of the nations of the land, in order to seek Yah Elohim of Israel. And they performed the festival of Matzot 7 days with joy, for Yah caused them to rejoice, and turned the heart of the sovereign of Ashur toward them, to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of Elohim, the Elohim of Israel.